久しぶりだな、麦わら。
Welcome again to the channel. We are here today watching round 3 of the Galaxy Gaming Store Regionals. We have Lucci taking on Perona. Lucci on the play, Perona on the draw. Lucci is opening up Spandom. Unfortunately, Spandom did whiff. It looks like he put a Gecko, Brook, and Suru to the trash. On 2-Don, Perona surprisingly doesn't open up either Otama or Momonosuke. And then on 3-Don here, let's see if he has stage. Him swinging 6 tells me that he does in fact have stage here. So he's going to tap and play that down. And it looks like he milled a Spandine and a Khalifa. Don, looks like Perona is going to swing 5 at face using the leader ability to rest Spandom and then playing the Ryuma to get rid of the Spandom. Not exactly a high value target, so it doesn't look like Perona is necessarily opening up with a great early game. And now, so Lucci is going to be able to very easily remove this Ryuma, tapping 2 for the stage. It looks like here at 5-Don, he is checking out his trash either for a Rebecca play or to figure out if he has enough CP to play the Kaku. We know he does have the Brook in trash, so leader ability plus stage plus Brook does get rid of the Ryuma, but that would result in the Brook also being KO'd from the Ryuma's on KO effect. So we do see him swing 6 here, milling 2, including a Tempest Kick. I didn't see the other card. I would imagine if Perona didn't have much of an early game, you're just going to take that to try and get some plays. And then we see a Lucci to get rid of the Ryuma. And that is helpful because he plays the Lucci active here, meaning that the Ryuma doesn't get the on KO benefit. But that is going to give Perona a target to swing into on the crackback if he doesn't have another Ryuma in hand. So, having played Perona a bit, I think on 6-Don here, you likely want to play an Otama to search the top 5, hopefully find a Ryuma or a You Can Be My Samurai, whatever piece you're missing, then be able to play the Ryuma to get rid of the Lucci here while being able to swing leader into face. But him swinging 7 here tells me that he does not have the Otama or the You Can Be My Samurai, but he does already have the Ryuma, so he is able to get rid of the Lucci. Passing back to the Lucci player for their 7-Don turn, where with stage being on the field, I imagine the Lucci's going to have a pretty easy time removing this Ryuma again. It looks like he's got 3-Don separated and 4-Don separated. We know that hard playing a Brook would get rid of the Ryuma, having tapped 2 for stage and then 1 for leader effect and then 1 for the Brook, making it a 0, allowing the on play pop. He does swing 6 here, milling 2, including both Ishos. So we know that that's a bit unfortunate given that Perona in the late game can have a bit of a large hand size. He is playing the Brook though, just to KO the Ryuma, and then hard playing the Lucci as a vanilla, making sure that at least one of these will survive the turn. That said, if Perona has the 8-cost Sabo in hand, that would be a pretty good answer, being able to get rid of both. Although he hasn't really drawn a ton of cards, so the Sabo effect to pitch 1 from hand may be a bit costly at this point. It looks like our Perona player is looking through his trash, meaning that he's more likely to play a Moria this turn as opposed to an 8-cost Sabo. Seeing that he does have the Ryuma in trash, he would be able to clear either of the Lucci or the Brook, whichever one he prefers. I'm not sure that he has any 2 cost or less in the grave up to this point. Perona is going to tap 8 here and play down the Moria. Ryuma is going to be one of the targets. He's looking through his trash to see if he has any additional targets that he can play. Okay, so it looks like he's playing the Helmeppo active and the Ryuma rested to get rid of the Lucci, just to be able to keep the Helmeppo as a body on board if he's not able to KO both, and giving Ryuma as a target to swing into, being a 6k body, easier to defend than your 5k life. Moving on to Moria's 9-Don turn, I think the perfect answer here would be a Moria of your own, assuming you have Helmeppo in trash, or if you have a Tempest Kick in hand. But he's going to use Stage to give -2. I'm not sure what to. I assume the Moria. It looks like he's doing the -3 now from the Tempest Kick. So that is a total of -5, making it a 3 cost. And he's going to tap 8 here. Playing down, oh okay, so he's playing down the 8 cost Sabo as opposed to the 8 cost Moria. This is going to end up being largely the same result here, with both the Ryuma and the Moria going down. Looks like he's debating on what to pitch from hand. And the reason I say it's likely the same result is because whatever you play off of the Moria, unless it is just straight up Lucci Helmeppo, you're going to end up getting KO'd by the Ryuma. So having now the 9k body plus leader plus Brook, with our Perona only having the Helmeppo, I think the Lucci's in a pretty good spot here. And now with Perona taking the 5k swing, giving the -1 to Helmeppo, and then the Brook to pop the Helmeppo. Normally, I would say that you probably just want to leave the Helmeppo on board, just so as to not give Perona more options for Moria. This is fine because Hiyori hasn't been countered out with yet, so I don't think there's a Hiyori in trash to this point. So you're not at risk of him being able to play the Helmeppo and then play Hiyori and then play a Ryuma from hand. So our Perona player here is going to just play the Otama Searcher, looking for some pieces. And while he's searching here, I guess we can revisit the decision to get rid of the Helmeppo. I think that one punish could be if our Perona player is able to stabilize, and once the Sabo has swung, he would be able to play the Moria with the Helmeppo Ryuma off of that, along with giving -1 from the leader, because the -1 from the leader and the 3 from Helmeppo would make the Sabo a 4 cost, allowing Ryuma to pop it. But he's going to get, I believe, the Dongo off of the search, which, unless he's able to play an Ice Age at this point, I'm not sure how good the Dongo is, because I think it only has a reach of 1 cost. After having played the Otama, we have 9-Don remaining. He's going to play down the Hiyori for 4, which gives us 5 remaining, and then the You Can Be My Samurai to draw 2. So we have 4 Don remaining. I think he was probably hoping he draws into another Ryuma, but having used 2 in the early game, he may not have one at this point. The fact that he's even having to debate here tells me that he does not have Ryuma. It looks like Perona is debating about swinging 5 or 6 here. I would imagine you are likely going to swing 6 at the Brook. With Lucci not having many cards in hand, he's just going to let that go. And now with 3 Dawn, unless you have a Momo, I'm not sure what you're looking to play at this point. Potentially, I guess, Otama, and then Dongo, and then You Can Be My Samurai to draw more cards, but he just ends up passing back to the Moria. And now, being at 2 life, having the 9K Sabo rather, staring you down in the face, I think you're in a pretty bad spot up to this point, with Lucci likely to just pressure face here, push him down to at least 1 life, having most likely going to take the 9K swing from Sabo, and then able to further develop their board. If they have another 8 cost here, I think an 8 cost Moria would probably be your best option to just develop 2 bodies this turn, as well being able to pressure life. It looks like Lucci's just going to poke 5, milling 2. Unfortunately, milling 2 Morias, so maybe he does not have a Moria in hand, knowing that he also milled 1 in the early game. And then swinging the 9K Sabo, he is going to take that. Tapping 4 here, or no, 5 for Kaku to be able to get rid of the Hiyori after giving -1 from the leader. Making sure that you're not able to play a free Ryuma off of the Hiyori in a future turn. And then just playing the Sabo to cycle hand, getting rid of a dead stage, as well as a Spandam. And now sitting here with 3 life and 2 cards in hand, with Perona only really having a leader swing available to them, and Perona being at 1 life, while staring down 4 swings in the leader, Sabo, Kaku, and 9-cost Sabo, or 9K Sabo rather. I don't think that Perona has a real good way of clearing any of the bodies this turn, given that they have the Sabo protection, and you're not going to really be able to swing over a 9K body. He's likely, as the Lucci player, just to take any swings to face this turn and leave the board so he can go for lethal on the crackback. Now, Perona here is going to tap 1 to play Momo, and then another Dawn, instead of searching with Momo, is just going to play that You Can Be My Samurai to draw into 2 cards, which hopefully provide him some answers. Perona here tapping down another Dawn to play the Suru to be able to give -2 to Sabo, making it a 3 cost. And then the Perona ability to rest the Sabo. And is going to end up swinging 8 with Perona into Sabo with 2 cards in hand. I imagine you're just going to have to let this go. And then with 4 Dawn playing a Borsellino. So a decent turn from Perona, but expensive nonetheless, having to play down the Suru. I would imagine that the Lucci player here is going to be able to just pressure face and eat up the Borsellino through the swings of face. I think it may make sense to just swing 9K base here with Sabo, and he would likely just take that, going down to no life. And then you would be able to split up your Dawn and go, 10 with Kaku and 11 with face. But he's going to choose to just make them all 3 even 10s, it looks like. Going 10 with Sabo, and Perona does take that. And then having already gone 10, knowing you have 9 Dawn remaining, you're likely just to swing 10 with Kaku, putting 4 on it and saving 5 for the Lucci swing. We do see the 10K swing here from Kaku, with Perona debating whether they can counter out of this and a Lucci swing. I think even if he is able to counter out of both of these while maintaining the Borsellino, it's too far gone at this point, not having any life to Lucci's 3 life. But Perona does have to block with Borsellino here rather than counter out of the 10K swing. So that should just be game. Lucci going to stack the 5 Don, swinging a 10. And it looks like Perona just scoops it up. That means that our Lucci player will be advancing to the next round of the store regionals. And spoiler alert, we do know that he ended up taking the finals. Hope you guys enjoyed the game. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.